Alright, been a while since I've done this, but I've got some time now, pretty much nothing better to do, so I figured I might as well set the camera back up and record some of my thoughts. On what? Leisure Suit Larry box office bust. It arrived in the mail for me last week from a friend of mine that's stationed in Kuwait. I'm pretty sure that sending Leisure Suit Larry violates the Geneva Convention, but that's okay. I'm not going to report him. Why? Because he thought ahead and he sent it with a little gift. The game came with beer coasters. Perfect. Because if you're going to try to play this game, you're going to use these. I know I have. The game, though, caught me off guard. It started out pretty enjoyable for about the first hour. First hour is basically you just learning the plot, which, for what it is actually fairly amusing. Like the entire Leisure Suit Larry franchise, it's a very hard R-rated game. There's plenty of sexual references, some drug references, but basically nothing worse than you would hear in a middle school classroom. The point, though, is there's a lot of references. In the span of about 30 seconds, they worked in a reference to teabagging, bukkake. Let's see here, what else? Dirty Sanchez. Oh, what else? There's just so many. Oh, the money shot, of course, because the whole point of the game is that you're the cousin of the original Leisure Suit Larry, and he now owns a movie studio that produces, well, porn. Your job is to help him keep his porn studio. I can't believe I just said that. That's the plot of the game. Don't laugh, though. It actually is, like I said, fairly amusing, especially with the celebrity voice work. Jane Lynch, whom you probably know from Glee, she does the voice of Larry's secretary. Patrick Warburton, Putty from Seinfeld, the Tick from the Fox live action show, and some other sitcom that he's been on lately that I can't remember the name of. My life depended on it right now. He's in there. Carmen Electra voices one of the airheaded bimbo porn stars, which is a real stretch for her, but she pulls it off and makes a pretty convincing airheaded bimbo porn star. The highlight, though, is Jay Moore. Jay Moore plays the slimy sleazeball agent. The same exact role Jay Moore has played since Jerry Maguire. He hasn't changed at all. It's like he found the one thing that he was good at and decided to just stick with that. Which is good, more power to him, but he sucks just as much in this as he has sucked in everything else since Jerry Maguire. Now, the voice work and everything is probably the highlight of the game, because as soon as that first hour is up, and you realize that you've done nothing but fetch quest, broken up, of course, by the mission where you have to sneak onto the roof of a building and photograph two girls going at it. Not nearly as exciting as I probably made it sound. The graphics are horrible. The women look totally fake. They didn't even attempt to make it realistic. The men as well, totally fake. Didn't even attempt to make it look realistic. Everyone is grossly exaggerated. It's the controls, though, that are going to lead you to that bottle of Jack Daniels. The controls are the worst I have ever come across in a game. You'll tell Larry to jump, and he might jump. He might not. It all depends on Larry's mood at the time. You might tell Larry to back up, or go forwards, or hang off a ledge. No, doesn't really matter. Larry does what Larry wants to do. The worst time for the controls that I've come across so far is as soon as I started the Wild West dream sequence. This is the first of, 3 worlds that you have to go through. That they're not this generic sandbox studio backlot. I spent a good hour and a half stuck at the beginning of the Wild West landscape because I could not get Larry to do this one jumping puzzle. Just was not going to happen. I finally got done last night, so I'm going to finally make some more progress in the game. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not Wednesday, maybe not Thursday. It's tough to get motivation to play this game. I'm trying to play this game instead of Dead or Alive Extreme 2, because, well, Leisure Suit Larry was sent to me by a friend. I've got another friend that also wants to play this game. Probably just to see if it lives up to the hype. And it does. The Wild West Dreamscape, before I forget, it sucks. There's this on-rail shooter portion, which reminds me way too much of Lethal Enforcers, which was also crap. Or Mad Dog McCree, anyone else remember that Laserdisc game? Pretty much like that. Where you have to shoot guys and it moves really slowly and it's really annoying. Then to make it worse, there's a section where you have to shoot women and horses with a love gun. I'm going to let that sentence hang in the air for a moment. You have to shoot 4 women and 4 horses with a love gun. Alright. You get bonus points if you hit them in the boob, and you get bonus points if you hit a horse in the rear. Who would play this? I mean, really, what exactly is the target audience for this game? It's... I mean, again, plot-wise, voice acting-wise, it's actually pretty decent. Control, actual gameplay, the things that make it a video game are really horrible. I'm not even halfway through. I'm like maybe approaching the 25% mark. Maybe, and that's being nice. And I still can't figure out the target audience for this. The game never, ever retailed at $60, thankfully. I believe it started with a price of $40, and now you can find it for about $8, which is still more. If you have $8 lying around, go buy Wartech. Don't buy this. As I get farther through the game, I'll probably have something else to say about it. But for now, my first impression of this game is that it is just as bad as I was expecting, which is both good and bad. Bad because I have to actually play and suffer through this. Good because, well, I don't know, keeping the liquor store in business, I guess. Need to go refill my bottle of Jack. That's like the only good thing. Alright then. Should have something up in about 2 days regarding RPG Maker and the quest for porn, which seems to be a theme this week, unfortunately. Kind of makes me wonder where I went wrong with my life. What brought me to this point? What could I have done differently? That I'm sitting here planning on this week talking about porn and hard R-rated games that involve bukkake. My mom would be so proud.